Hello everybody, Keto Genie. So I promised I was going to do a cooking tutorial to show you exactly how to do my fathead dough cinnamon rolls. Okay, so here we go. I hope you guys can see. So in this bowl I have my recipe, which I've shared many times. It's 5 cups shredded mozzarella cheese, 4 ounces of cream cheese. You melt that in the microwave. Then you're going to add 4 beaten eggs and 3 cups of almond flour and 2 tablespoons of baking powder. Okay, so that's fathead dough. This is gonna make 2 batches of cinnamon rolls. Okay, we're gonna be cooking these at 325, a little lower than normal fathead, but we're gonna cook them for about 40-45 minutes. So I have 2 round pans. Okay, I like to make mine in the round pie pan. So I've got 2 here that I've already greased. Okay. In here is the dough. So I'm going to show you guys again how I knead the dough. I usually mix it up with a sharp knife. I know a lot of people thought that was really funny last time, but truly that's how I do it. Okay, so once it's kind of all mixed in, so I have my hands washed, but I also have here a bowl of cold water. That's the secret to working with fathead dough. Okay, guys? So I'm going to do the dough, and you can just kind of watch me, and this might be long, but that's kind of how the cooking videos end up, I guess. So all we're going to do is we are just going to knead the heck out of this. And as I mentioned before, I knead all my fathead recipes by hand. It's extra work, but I just find that the mixer, I'm not sure if it puts too much air in it. I don't know exactly what it is, but I just don't like it. I'm not a fan. So the mixing, I kind of decided to do this on camera, even though this is long, because I want you guys, if you're new to my channel, this is how you make the fathead dough, okay? And it's really just a lot of mixing. You can also just dip your dough covered hands in a little cold water right here, and that will kind of help you mix it thoroughly. You want your dough to be really consistent throughout, okay? You don't want to have like little chunks where you can see the discoloration, guys, between the mozzarella cheese, the almond flour. Okay, so see, I'm going to lift this up. Okay, see that? So you just keep kneading until it's gone, okay? So I know this is kind of boring because you guys are just watching me knead my fathead dough, but okay, this is how you do it. So you're just gonna really, see how I'm kind of squeezing it? Can you see that? I mean, I'm really just hand kneading this dough really well. And it's starting to mix together, it's starting to get going. But this is the hardest part, you guys. The dough is the most difficult part. Once you've got your dough ready, these cinnamon rolls are actually very quick. So, whew, definitely get a workout. It's tough. I mean, it's a lot of hand kneading. And I set up this little folding card table because I thought that would be easier for you guys to see what I was doing. So sorry if it's making a lot of noise. Okay, we're almost done. So let me hold this up. You're gonna take your big ball of fathead dough, okay? And then what I do is I just scrape the bottom. I put it all together, okay? Get my hands. So what I do is I wet my hands and I'm gonna scrape all that dough that's stuck on the bottom. I'm gonna scrape it off and I'm gonna put it with my big ball of dough here, okay? And I might have some go flying, that's fine. Okay, but it's just about done. So that means that it's all uniform. It's all like one color, okay? You don't see any break in the dough. And I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can really see what I'm talking about. Don't be afraid of fathead dough. Don't be nervous, okay? Just watch my video, do what I'm doing. You know, you really can't mess it up. Just keep going until your dough is a nice consistency. So, okay. Whew, it's warm in here. That oven is kicking. Okay, so I'm gonna do this closely. You guys see that? Can you see? The dough it's all one color. It's all uniform, okay? So we've got this dough and we are ready to roll this out to make our cinnamon rolls, okay? So I'm gonna move this bowl. I really wanted to do this live, but I just wanna make sure it's decent before I go on live and do it. Okay, so now we've got our dough, okay? So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just put it down on this parchment paper, okay? As I mentioned, I get my hands wet and see my bowl here. I'm gonna just make sure I have all the dough out of it. And here's my knife, so I'm just gonna scrape it all, make sure I've got all the dough I can get, okay? It's not glamorous, guys, but this is what it is. Okay, I'm gonna move the bowl out of my way so you guys can see me. Okay, so now we've got our fathead dough. We've got it on our parchment paper. I also have a baking mat, which is over there. I just thought it would be easy to do parchment paper because not everybody has a baking mat, okay? So now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my hands wet with the cold water. Can you guys see this? Bowl of cold water. I'm dripping it everywhere. See? Okay, so all I'm gonna do, can you guys see what I'm doing? So I'm gonna roll out this dough. I'm gonna just keep rolling it out. So can you see what I'm doing? And what I want is I want this dough to be like one big rectangle, guys. So can you see what I'm doing? This is where I wish it was alive, because then you guys could tell me and give me feedback. You can actually see what I'm doing here. Okay, can you see that? So then you're just gonna kind of spread it out. You're gonna pull it gently, and you're gonna keep going until you have, you know, a pretty good size rectangle. I'll hold it up when I have it all spread out. So it's gonna be maybe about this thick, maybe a 1/4 inch. Is that a 1/4 inch? But it'll be all spread out into a rectangle, okay? Okay, so I've almost got it done. A little more water. See what I'm doing? The water is gonna help you really smooth the dough without it sticking to your hands, guys, okay? Does that make sense? I'm gonna have to figure out the best angle for these cooking videos, so I hope you guys can see this and follow along. All right, so now we're just about ready. We've got this in a big rectangle here, okay? And it doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't have to be, it's gonna be all rolled up, okay? So what you wanna do is make sure that the dough is equal all over the place. You don't want it too thick in the middle. So just be aware of that, okay? Okay. All right, and then I just like to kind of take my hands and clear off all the dough I can. Okay, so I'm gonna hold this up so you guys can see. It's kind of a weird lighting in here, isn't there? Okay, so can you guys see that? There's your dough. Woo! It's a big, heavy rectangle of dough, okay? So, hopefully you guys can see this. Okay, so this is how I do it. So in this bowl, I've already mixed it so that I can kind of explain things to you guys. In this bowl, there's 1/2 cup of swerve, okay? That's what I like to use, swerve. And there's 2 heaping tablespoons of cinnamon. Okay, I love this Saigon cinnamon from Kirkland from Costco. Okay, so that's what that looks like, and then take a peek. So look, you're just gonna mix it around so you have kind of like a cinnamon sugar mixture, okay? So again, 1/2 cup of swerve and 2 heaping tablespoons of cinnamon. If you like it a little more cinnamony, you can add more. You can make this recipe your own, guys. Super simple. Okay, so I'm gonna set that aside. Now I've got my big rectangle, right? So what I need to do is, what did I just do with that sharp knife I had? I just sworn I just had one. Oh, there it is. Okay, sharp knife. So what I'm gonna do, guys, is I'm gonna cut this rectangle in half. Okay, can you guys see that? Can you see what I'm doing? So all I'm doing, just eyeball it, okay? So I've cut a big line in half. I feel like the lighting is really strange. I hope you guys can see what I'm doing. Let me see if I can turn this a little. Is that better? I don't know if that's better. Okay, so there's my 2 squares. I think that's a little better. Okay, there's my 2 squares of dough, guys. So now this is the fun part. Okay, I have 1/2 stick of butter, which is 4 tablespoons. Okay, I've softened it. Now, this is how I do it. You can do it however you want. So what I'm gonna do is, I have this butter. Here's the wrapper. And I'm gonna just plop it in 2 pieces, okay? Voila! So now I'm gonna just drop it there, okay? And I'm gonna smear butter. Can you see what I'm doing? This is kind of gross, it's kind of fun, I don't know. You tell me if you make it, but, so you're gonna smear butter all over the square, okay? So you've got that one all done, and now you're gonna come over here and you're gonna rub in this chunk of butter. So it's gonna be all rubbed in, guys. Make sure you get all the corners, okay? Yeah, these are just so delicious and buttery and cinnamony. These are, I made a lot of these for Christmas. People really loved these. Okay, so I've got butter all over my hands, which is fine. So now I've got my butter, okay? So now what I'm gonna do And actually, I'll try to get some of this butter off me. Okay. So now what I'm gonna do, guys, is so I have my half a cup of swerve, my cinnamon mixture, and I have it all in here, okay? So all I'm gonna do is just gonna shake it all on there. And don't be stingy with the cinnamon. I tell people that all the time. Like, make sure you get all the corners, make sure you get all the way to the edge. Okay. So I'm going to use this whole thing, see? Okay, so I've got a nice coating of cinnamon on there. Can you guys see that? Pretty much have every little bit covered generously with the cinnamon swerve mixture, okay? Okay, so there we have it. Okay, so now I'm going to show you how to roll these up, okay? So I've got my big rectangle cut in half. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to just take the edge, and it might stick a little, guys, don't worry, okay? If it sticks, just peel it up. It's on parchment paper, so it's not going to stick too bad, okay? So now look what I'm doing. You're going to tuck and roll. You're going to just roll it like this, okay? Now, so we've rolled all our dough, and you just want to kind of keep it a little bit tight. Just keep rolling it inward, okay? So once it's all rolled like this, so this is going to be your first batch, okay? You're going to pull it apart from the second one. Oops, and sometimes the line's not clean, so it won't pull apart. So there we go. Okay, so this is our roll of cinnamon dough, guys. This is what it looks like, okay? We're going to just kind of tuck that in. Tuck it in there like that, okay? Can you guys see? So now I'm going to take my sharp knife, and I'm just going to cut it into pieces. So this is how I do it. You guys can measure, you can do your own thing. So I just do like right there to my finger, and that's the size that I like, my customers like, okay? So I'm going to just go one. So I'm going to give it a sharp cut. Sharp. See what I'm doing, guys? Can you see me? Okay. Kind of weird to be cooking on camera and there's no one here. Okay. So you just keep going, and you can make them a little thicker if you want. I mean, you can do whatever you want to do. Okay. So this particular roll made 11 cinnamon rolls. So if you're, have to have a certain number or whatever, you may want to be more particular with your measurement, but I'm not. So I'm just making this to show you guys. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, so see what I have? I've got my little cinnamon roll, okay? And I've got my greased pan. So all I'm going to do, can you guys see that? So I'm going to take my little rolls, and I just kind of like to squish them so that they're round. They get a little flat when you're cutting them. It's no big deal. Okay. So then we're just going to keep turning them around like that. Can you guys see that? Don't those look awesome? Okay. So see what I'm doing? See how they get kind of smushed when you cut them? So I like to just kind of fluff them up, plump them up a little bit and make them round, okay? And don't squish them down either, you know what I mean? Just kind of form them in a circle, but don't fuss with the dough too much, okay? Okay. I make them in a round pan because I just like how they're kind of pull apart like that. And I guess they just remind me of the old, Pillsbury ones with the can that pops open, and used to have those just filled with carbs and sugar and nonsense. So, okay, so close up, this is what they look like. See those? So those are gonna go in the oven. You can bake them at 325 or you can bake them at 350, just depending. I like to cook them at a little bit lower heat just to keep an eye on them. And then you're gonna cook them until they're just golden brown and they look kind of fluffy. So that is it. That is how you make my cinnamon rolls, guys. So I hope this was helpful. I hope you make them. I hope you love them. And if you make them, don't forget to tag me. So thanks very much. I'd love some feedback. I'm pretty new to this whole tripod and cooking and filming myself. I feel kind of silly and strange, but it's all in the name of helping people, and I try to be encouraging, and it's not always perfect. You know, Keto Genie is my business. It's who I am. It's my passion. It's what I love. And I hope that I can help you be brave and try to make some cinnamon rolls. Thanks for watching, guys. Love you.